What's going on, NBA fans? Welcome back to another episode of NBA Central. I got Big Bro with me and the man that speaks, Stevo, with me. Look, we got to talk about it first thing first. What the hell is going on with the Los Angeles Clippers? And damn, is Joe Mazzulla about to get ready to hit that head coaching wall? Y'all already know. We're going to talk about it right after this.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.
All right, y'all. So if y'all like what y'all listening to today, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. All right, y'all. So we got the LA Clippers up first on the docket. 34-33 record. 8th in the Western Conference. Man, I swear they was just a little bit higher a few days ago. Steve-O, we going to kick it off with you, my boy. How these Clippers looking right now, Brody?
Bro, they shaky, bro. They real shaky right now, bro. I don't know what happened because, like, right before the All-Star break, I was sitting here like, hey, they've been on the last, like, they was on a nice little, I don't know if it was like 10 in a row, but it was like a 10 to 15 game strip, but they was playing really good basketball. Paul George was playing solid. Kawhi was playing solid. The people around him was playing solid. Now, yes, they made some moves in the trade deadline and stuff. So it's a newer looking team. But ever since then, they just not the same. Like Paul George ain't been the Paul George we know is the weird Paul George. Like this dude, I don't know. He looks so uncharacteristic. I'm like, is this even Paul George? This look like PG 24. That's what this look like. So it's like I don't even know what's wrong with him. And then it's like, of course, you never know what game Kawhi's gonna play. So it's like,
right.
I'm pretty sure the coach is having a rough time coming up with schemes and plays, not knowing when his stop playing gonna be at. And now that you got people like Bones and Russ in, it's kind of hard to put them into the game because they play a specific way. Both of them, one is more freeform, and which is Bones. He can go out there, get a bucket freeform, sometimes playmaking. And Russ just 100 miles per hour. So,
bro,
they just been looking real shaky, bro. It's not in a good way. Very,
what you got to say about that, big bro?
They were already shaky before the moves, before the trade deadline. I know what you were saying, Steve-O. Like, they looked like they were kind of turning the corner because Kawhi was playing more, Paul George was playing more. But a sneaky situation can be the reason why this is happening to the Clippers. They traded Luke Kennard, who was a 40% plus 3-point shooter, and now they don't have that person out there. Because they got Eric Gordon, but like he's not Eric Gordon like that, like the way he used to be. You feel me? So it's like when you trade away shooting like that, it's gonna be tough. And these guys are 3-7 in their last 10. Like they were already kind of like, the Western Conference is just filled with teams that's hovering around the 500 mark. But that could make or break your season because 1 through 13 is at or around 500, and the Clippers can find themselves if they keep free falling. They're going to find themselves out of the play-in tournament if they don't turn it around real soon. Because the Lakers, New Orleans, and Oklahoma, they still fighting for those positions too. So I think giving up 3-point shooting and then not having continuity in general. You got your leaders they're refusing to play back-to-backs or at all. Your coach doesn't really have the say-so. It seems like ownership is kind of dictating what to do and how to deal with the star players. To me, I didn't think I came into the season thinking the Clippers were going to be a better team, but as the season has progressed, they just are what they are, a team that's just trying to coast their way into the playoffs and then hopefully turn it on, but they don't have that, man.
And that's something that they have done since Kawhi Leonard has been there. My boy, I'm gonna bring it up every single time. You enter LA creating commercials and shit, talking about you the new king of LA and ain't did shit. That's the mere fact. That's a fact. You ain't did nothing, bro. You ain't reached one finals, bro. You came over here demanding all these private jets, all these damn demands, and ain't did nothing, bro. And we know what type of player we know what type of player Kawhi Leonard could potentially be, but he hasn't been that guy since he left Toronto. In
The
Toronto, he
only
had a spectacular run, bro, but not
the only
as of late.
the last thing he did was dunk on old boy in Dallas, and they all stood over him like this. And then they lost every game after that.
You idiot.
They did.
Like, so every game after that.
I'm
Bro.
talking about. I'm talking about in that playoff series. They lost
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
everything
yeah,
after
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yep.
And, and then they lost in the play-in tournament to the Minnesota Timberwolves last year, the Pat Bev situation.
Bro.
You know, I've always brought it up, and I'm gonna ask y'all the same thing. Do you think they had that talk yet? Is that the reason why they not turning the corner like they should? And the talk, what I mean by the talk is when you have two alpha males, two dudes, they can do the same thing. You got to have that conversation of who teams it is, and I feel like they haven't had that conversation yet.
Bro, and I'm with you, but I think that the conversation needs to be more of a accountability thing. These guys out here playing when they want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, come play, bro. Come take over. I think Kawhi Leonard, he, in my opinion, has never been a vocal leader. But like people, they take the back seat, and they could have had the conversation, but it don't seem like it. So I'm gonna say no. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's just more of an accountability thing, bro. Just trying to get his cheese, trying to get his paper, and rightfully so. But damn, bro, at some point you got to be able to put up or shut the fuck up, bro.
I mean, these
Hey, for
dudes are
real.
making both of them are making top 10 money in NBA. I think they both make 45 million each. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. You got to produce at that type of money. Like you have to, and you got to play. I don't think it's fair to the fans in LA. I don't think it's fair to the fans of the NBA in general to see these players making all this money and not go out there and hoop.
Hey, and
Bro.
it's crazy. I don't even want to bring the Bulls into it, but like Zach is averaging 24. You having Paul George is averaging 23.
Mm-hmm.
Paul George is an MVP type of player. Not saying Zach can't be, but we have seen it. There is no there is no way Zach coming off an injury should be scoring more than you. In the situation he's in too, like there's no reason that should be happening.
But there's another thing that I want to bring up too. I know, Kev, you mentioned Luke Kennard, but I think Reggie Jackson, I didn't see him being moved. And
Yep.
Reggie Jackson was a guy that kept everything together while Kawhi was out or PG was out. Reggie Jackson was the guy that helped that thing run, like starting and then getting benched and then starting again and then moving to the bench again. He was the one that, in my opinion, was at least one of the guys that sacrificed the most, because we know that once Reggie Jackson was going, he was going, and he can
I
light
was
up the
shocked.
scoreboard.
I was shocked to see him go too, to be honest. Him and Luke Kennard, to be honest. Like those guys were what you consider glue guys, staples, cogs in the machine. And the Clippers are finding out the hard way that you can't just replace players like that.
Facts.
Yeah,
And
that's for sure.
and one thing I gotta bring up, bro, is like their defensive rating, bro. Like, how y'all got these crazy bro,
Lockdown
y'all got
defenders, right?
exactly, and y'all don't want to defend. I feel like that's what kind of led them into that little, I believe it's a 5-game losing streak right out of All-Star break. Like, I understand y'all
Well,
added
they've
Russell
lost.
Westbrook. No, they just
They've,
won the last game they played, but I think they lost five straight, like
they
5 or
lost
6
seven,
straight.
and they lost 7 out of 10.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like Russ, I don't really believe that they could sit there and blame Russ about anything, because Russ was
no.
coming in, he was giving you 17, 14, and 10, or 14, 9, and 8, or some shit like that. Like, it was crazy, low volume shots, just a few points here and there, and y'all supposed to go ahead and take over. That's why I never really
Turnovers.
been on. That's why I
Yeah,
never been
turnovers is
on a
high.
Kawhi train, bro. I mean, that's always
Turnovers.
gonna be a thing with him, though. It's always gonna be a thing with him, though. That's something you live with. But that's why I never been on a Kawhi Leonard train, because, bro, you don't show up when it really matters, in my opinion.
At least, except for when they won it as the Spurs, and then when they won in Toronto.
Yeah.
After,
And then bro
after
got
that
his
one
money
injury,
non-existent.
yeah, after that first injury in San Antonio, been a different Kawhi. Like you don't know when you're gonna get him. It's like he moved like I get it. Like I get it. You did your thing, but you move like you done like everybody. Like I can name a couple people that got a ring, bro. Like I need more. Like you moving around like you ain't no king, you ain't no prince. You not even
Right.
you not even a jock. Come
Right.
on, bro. Like I need more. I need more. You need you missed a lot of basketball.
And
Not
at this point,
entirely your fault, but you need to do more.
looking at that division, the Pacific Division, like nobody could have anticipated the Sacramento Kings being in first place in that division this late in the season, and that's
Shout
why
out Mike Brown.
Mike Brown definitely should win the Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he's number one for me for sure.
Yeah, you should definitely win it, and it's like going away, like because Mike Malone, what Denver's doing is great, and what's going on in Boston and Milwaukee is also good, but like Sacramento, they out there hooping, man. Those young guys are serious about playing basketball. And honestly, the Clippers don't want to see them.
Mm-mm.
Go State is on their way up the standings. Like they finally, even without Steph, they figured out a way to kind of start winning down the stretch. And it's because nobody really separated themselves from that 3 to 6 spot in the, or the 3 through 13 in the Western Conference. So shout out to those teams. But the Clippers are looking up at a lot of teams right now.
Well, shit, y'all better get ready because right now the 4 and 5 seed is Phoenix Suns and Golden State. Round one. That's another topic for another day, though. That's a topic for another day, though. We got to see how it play out.
Hey, we could touch on it a little bit, like just a tad
let's
bit.
let's save it for next time. Let's save it for next time. Let's save it for next time. For real, man. Any final words on these Clipper guys though before we move on to Joe Mazzulla?
Hey man, I just want to touch on this. People gonna blame Paul George, and I mean not Paul George really, but mainly Kawhi. People like Kawhi and them, the Kyries, the James Hardens. It's gonna be your fault when this new CBA come out and it's not in your favor. It's your
Yep.
fault, and you finna mess it up for the people that's coming. So when they giving y'all attitude, when y'all the best, I don't want to hear it.
I'm with you. I ain't got nothing to echo after that one. That was perfect. Kev, moving on.
Yeah, that's it.
Bro. All right, so y'all make sure y'all go ahead and let us know how y'all thinking about that topic, man. In the comment box. We're gonna move on along. So we got Joe Mazzulla, now the new head coach of the Boston Celtics, just dropped his last 3 games, all by double-digit lead, by having double-digit leads. We seen one of his players, Grant Williams, that a few nights ago have a DNP, I believe, a few nights ago, and then turn around, and now Grant Williams got to go and hit 2 clutch free throws to seal the game against the Cleveland Cavs, and he told Donovan Mitchell, I'm gonna hit both of them motherfuckers too, and he missed them.
He missed both of them motherfuckers.
That nigga finna be another DNP.
Oh, bro. So the question is, man, is Joe Mazzulla, has he hit that wall, Steve-O, or do you think he about to get ready and hit that coaching wall?
I won't say he hit it just yet. I need to see more evidence to show that he hit it. Yeah, I feel like he's starting to get. I think teams are starting. Like, of course, it's towards the end of the year, so teams are starting to really sit down and figure things out. But I think he's not gonna hit that wall until the playoffs. Because when the playoffs sit down, they actually sit down and study you and the team. When you study, they mean they study your antics from your timeouts to your rotations, when you like to rotate, who you like to rotate in, what type of lineups you like. Like once real coaches that know how to think the game X and O wise, figure out what type of coach you are. That's when you hit that wall, and that's where we see where the coaches show up. That's what we're gonna see if you can really coach it in this league. Because
bro,
it may been an assistant for a while. So before he got that job, he was already well prepared for that. So Joe, I don't know. Like he got to show it like Ime Udoka did. So like I'm not gonna fully say that he's completely hit the wall, but the wall coming.
Oh, Big Kev, what you think about Joe Mazzulla so far? You think he hit that wall already, or are you with Steve-O saying it's gonna happen in the playoffs?
Well, I can't really say that he hit the wall. Like as of right now, they're 2 games back of first place on a 3-game losing streak, and that's only because Milwaukee went on that long 16-game winning streak to put themselves into first place. And Boston really should feel beneficial to how slowly the Sixers and the Knicks started, and really Brooklyn trading away all their ace players because they could be in second or third place in their own division as opposed to second place in the conference. The Knicks on a 9-game winning streak, and then Brooklyn obviously was up there before they traded KD and Kyrie, and they went 18-2 at one point as well. It's not just the last 3 games, fellas. They've lost 5 out of their last 10, so they're 5-5 in their last 10. But what bothers me the most is close games. From looking at the stats right here, these guys are 4-7 in overtime games. So not only are you not closing out games in regulation, like 11 overtime games is a lot for a season, and then you're not even winning them. 4-7 in overtime games is tough. And when it comes to the playoffs, you have to close out. Like, you can't just lose close games like that at home, on the road, or whatever, because you don't have tomorrow. So I'm interested to see how it's going to look in the playoffs for these guys.
I'm with you on that one, because if you remember last year around this time, they was closing those games out. Now it's the opposite. You know what I'm saying? And like Stevo said, Ime, he was an assistant for a very long time behind Pop, one of the greatest coaches ever. So he had the opportunity to sit and learn for all those years, not only as a player but as a coach as well, and then fit right in and take your team in your first year to the finals. And Steve-O, I'm with you, bro. In the playoffs, we gonna see what he really made of, Joe Mazzulla. We gonna see what he really made of. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, like, why are you sitting Grant Williams? I know I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I don't get to call those shots, but I feel like he was one of your guys that helped you sweep a team like the Brooklyn Nets last year. So you know what he brings. And I believe right now, every good coach around the league right now is trying to solidify those rotations. They're trying to see who gonna be in, and if this happen, how they gonna counter that, or whatever it is. And my man's, he hit that 3-game skid, and you got to hold these guys accountable. I seen him getting in the face of Grant Williams. Like Kevv said, it might be another PMP coming. But I did like that moment where you getting on your player's ass. Like, bro, you got to, you know what I'm saying, step up. You got to hit
one of those free throws.
And I'm starting to notice, like, in them late game situation, why they losing is because he's not running no plays.
Yeah.
Ime was running plays real good plays at the end of the game.
Hell yeah.
Joe has a tendency, it's almost like Billy. He let his star players do a thing. And if you really pay attention, what was that last when he passed that 3, the 76ers game?
Yeah. To Al
he
Horford.
said he kept on letting it when he kept letting he let what's his name? What's the Brown? He let Brown do his thing. Then he let Jason do his thing. And then Doc was like, oh, okay. Next time when they get this final shot, double them. If it's Tatum or Brown, double them. And that's what they did. They double them, forced them to pass it to Horford and make that shot, which is what you want to happen.
Yeah.
So, hey, if they starting to pick that up now, he better start realizing that he needs to start making some adjustments in game, and quick adjustments at that.
Yeah, because you can't stand pat, especially if you want to win these games. Because you know you in a 7-game series, bro. You've been played most of these teams 3-4 times in the regular season. You know everything they gonna do just about. Now it's about who wanted more, and it's that chess match on what can I do to help my team win this damn game.
And guess who's not going to be scared of them? Because right now they projected to play either Miami or Atlanta, and Miami not scared. Like, they're gonna go out there and give every right. They're gonna go out there and give everything.
Anybody in the East is scared. Honestly, I don't think nobody like. I think people was more scared of Boston.
Well, I think the Washington Wizards, they know they not that.
I mean, the lower tiers are scared, but like I think most of the people in the East are not really scared because everybody didn't beat them at one point. Like almost everybody didn't beat them at one point. And it's not like last year where they was hot. Like they just been playing solid all year. So it's like it's more scary to see a hot team coming towards you versus just what you know is a good team.
Like and we didn't mention this in the pre-show conversation, but like the New York Knicks, we got to give them some love. These guys are currently on a 9-game winning streak. Thibodeau got them boys hooping out there, and Boston Philly, Cleveland, like those teams, they don't want to see the Knicks.
Yeah,
bro.
that's a great point. And I think that these guys definitely gonna have to hit their stride soon because like we all been talking about, getting hot and going into those moments with that steam and putting that fear, like these motherfuckers playing out of their mind right now. That when they caught fire, they just trended upward the entire way to the finals, and they could have pulled it out. It was just a few games here and there to where they couldn't, and Steph took over.
Bro.
So
Bro, so
Steph was like, I'm the MVP.
Hey, he said, hey, Taylor, you might be good. I'm gonna show you great. It's a
bro.
levels to this, my young man. It's
So I
levels.
got a question for y'all. If the Boston Celtics don't make the finals, how y'all gonna feel? Y'all think it's a lost season for them?
I mean, for them, they'll feel like it's a lost season, but the NBA is wide open right now. Like seriously, like it's a myriad of teams. Like it's easily 6 teams that can make it to the finals right
I
now.
think
I agree with that.
not as a team, it won't hurt them as badly, but it's gonna hurt Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna hurt the credibility of Tatum.
Why you say that? Can you dive into more of that?
Because last year you was hot the whole time, and then once you got to the finals, you didn't show up. The player like I not to say I'm not a Tatum guy, but I've always been like, hey, I mess with Brown. Like Jalen can be a 1-2. Like at times he is the one. So like you cannot let your two keep like two been consistent the whole time. Jalen been consistent since last year. So like
Facts.
you can't do that again. You have to show put your stamp on this peak, put your foot on their neck and show you can win a title. Like if you want to be that dude, you gotta win a title and put him on your back.
He focused right now.
Because I was one of those people that said Jaylen Brown played better than him in the finals. And if he would have showed up, they win.
Anybody, I don't care. Anybody that say he wasn't is just hating. If you really watch that game and honestly watch it, you can't sit there and tell me that Jalen was not the one
he
that
was fearless every game.
Fearless.
Now the benefit that Boston has, even though this is not going to continue to be the case, obviously, is youth. Like they still just 25. Jason Tatum just turned 25 like today or yesterday. So he got a good 10 years left, another good 5 to 7 years in his prime. So we'll see what happens, but you want to get that first one out the way. I agree with the two of you. Like you don't want to be 30. Like, man, I remember when I was in my 20s, we was going to the Eastern Conference Finals all the time, and you know what I'm saying? Like, go out there and produce. Like they've tasted enough success for youth to no longer be an excuse for those guys.
That's what I was about.
Bro, but
that's another thing.
I wanted to bring this up. How long does eventually duos break up? Some of them work for the long haul, but I ain't trying to start no narrative or something, but it's something everybody got to think about. What players get tired of going through the same thing? They done been to the Eastern Conference Finals many times. They just made it to the finals. What if Jaylen Brown be like, I'm the man. I want my own shit.
I was just about to say that because we don't know how Jaylen Brown as a person is. Like he can he can also make that turn, like you just said. I want to be that dude. I want to make that big time money.
Look at Miles Bridges. Like he just went to Brooklyn, and this man is already Mikal Bridges. He's already doubled his 30-point game output that he had in Phoenix in about 340 games. There, he had 2 30-point games, and in Brooklyn in like 2 weeks, he already got 4.
Hooping.
Right. So like Jaylen Brown can be in the same situation. If he go to a squad that's looking for a number one option, let's just say he go to one of these teams, and he like, let me and go be the man. Like you saying, Steve-O, I can see that though. I can definitely see it.
Because eventually motherfuckers get tired of the same damn cycle and shit.
Bro, especially when you think you that dude and somebody's already anointed the king of the castle.
No, bro.
So,
Tatum having an MVP type season though. But go ahead.
Oh, for sure. But like,
but Jaylen Brown, Jaylen Brown still averaging 25, 26 points a game. So he probably, bro, I can carry my own. I can average 32.
Because I ain't
gonna
go
with the Pistons and kill.
Yeah,
bro, or something.
Yeah, can go somewhere. I ain't gonna lie. I had the narrative already ready. I was like, hey, bro. Because before they got it together, when I thought they was going to split, I was like, hey, man, you might want to go talk to Ja.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh-wee.
That would be Perfect.
Ooh, wait.
Except Ja want to be Gilbert Arenas.
He wanna be
80. Oh,
Hell
Look,
no.
look, bro. What type of gun do you hold like this?
Yourself.
Y'all ignorant. Y'all ignorant. But go ahead again.
That's
Y'all
how
got
suburban
anything?
nights hold guns. Suburban niggas.
That boy had a toenail clipper. What are you talking about?
Not a toenail clipper.
Oh, bro, he did.
Hey, my boy didn't put out his son car. Funny as hell, man.
Got that Hot Wheel.
Y'all got anything left?
I'm excited for the playoffs, man. Like, although our team don't look like they finna be in it, I'm excited. I feel like this is the most unexpected situation for the playoffs in a very long time. Like, we don't know who's gonna win it. Like, we don't know
last
who's
year was
gonna
crazy
win.
shit. Look at
Right.
this year.
We don't know who's gonna win it. Look, the Clippers could mess around and fool us all. Like, they was playing possum the whole season, you know.
Hey, if that happened, I'm coming on live and I'm getting drunk. If that happens, no way in hell that's happening.
Oh, bro, he don't even drink.
Oh, bro.
We got 3 weeks left of the NBA season, and we're gonna see what. Obviously now it's time to separate the pretenders from the fakers. Like the pretenders from the contenders. Like people are gonna. These teams that are really playing like every game is a game 7 are gonna bring it every night, and I'm excited to see it.
Bro, Stevo, any last thing?
Just ready to see some high level basketball. We ain't getting in the shot.
Oh, bro, y'all already know, man. But hey, if y'all want more from Big Kev, hit him up on Chopping It Up Chicago. That's his podcast on YouTube and everywhere else. If you want more from my man Stevo, hit him up at Stevo Speaks on all social media platforms. If you want more from me, hit me up on Shy Boys Podcast, even though we trash, but we still lit over there. Now, look, if you want us all collectively.
Podcast. Clarification.
Bro, the Bulls trash. The podcast lit. Thanks for the clarification. But if you want to follow us 3 right here, C-Dub, Hayes, or any other contributor to the channel, hit us up collectively at NBA Central Show at gmail.com. NBA Central Pod on Twitter. And if you want to leave us a hot take of whatever it is that's on your mind, send it in. Text message or voicemail 773-270-2799. This is another episode of NBA Central. We're going to catch y'all on the next one.
Thank you for tuning in to the #1 place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.